Yes. I just realized I set up my broadcast to go live tomorrow, not today. So that may cause some problems. For those of you who attempted to join yesterday's show, I am very sorry. I don't know what happened. I heard it didn't, it wasn't something that went on for a long time. So I'm going to check YouTube here. Sorry about that. Okay, so it looks like I am good on YouTube. And looks like I am good to go here. So it looks like everything's good. I have got a fantastic show for you. I have placed 3 wagers, 2 of which you should take advantage of. One, one, you'll see why I made the bet once I go ahead. And I'm going to break down every single NFL game. Ultimately, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what games you like. Is there some college action I should pay attention to? A buddy of mine hit me up. He's a Arkansas Razorback fan, and he wanted 15 points in Arkansas. And I was like, no. And now I looked at 17 and a half. And that might be a game I actually might take Arkansas. Not a college. I don't have enough time to watch college. And I've been behind on a lot of things I want to do on the pro side. My normal 9-to-5 job has severely limited the amount of time that I can research. It used to be that when I go to work, I could listen to podcasts or music or YouTube, and they took that away. That's part of the life when you work a 9-to-5. So the amount of research I normally can do during the week is normally I can multitask. So do me a favor. I'm seeing I got a few people in the show. I do got some thumbs up, which is awesome. But somebody drop a comment in there if you don't mind. I want to make sure it works. I also have the coffee brewing. So let me grab my coffee. And if somebody doesn't mind, drop a comment in there. I want to make sure it works because we had some issues Wednesday. I see a few of you are watching. So somebody drop a comment in there, and I'm going to get my coffee. I'm going to be right back. All right, 7 p.m. on a Friday night, and I'm drinking coffee. I'm doing my favorite thing in the whole world, and that's talking football. All right, according to what I'm seeing here, I got some people watching. I don't have any comments, and that's okay. My biggest concern is that everything's running smoothly. That's why I'd ask for a comment, but hey, that's all right. Ultimately, if you ask a question, I will answer it live on the show. This is what I live for, is to talk football. So, hey, but you know what? I can literally go over 5 hours of football by myself. I can break down all 32 NFL teams. I can spend 10 minutes on each show. All right, I got some comments in here. Funk is here, but he's not. Hey, man, I understand, Funk. I understand. If you get a chance to listen to the rebroadcast, or hopefully there won't be any problems next Wednesday. So, hey, man, your contributions always appreciated. And also on a side note, if Luke G does his show, a pregame show Sunday morning, I will be in for a little bit. I will be in for a little bit. Tim is also in the house. But he's at, you know what? I've never watched 8-man football, Tim. Never watched 8-man football. I've heard of it. I forget the NFL player's name. He actually played 8-man football. It's actually really popular up in Nebraska. I know that you're up in northern Missouri, so I guess it's popular up there too. I would actually love to check that out one of these days. I would love to check out 8-man football. So that's kind of cool that you're able to do that. All right. So you know what? the best part of the show for me is interacting with people. But hey, listen, family, you're at a football game. Hey, thanks for giving me some love. Thanks for chiming in. If I can get my words out, this is still going to be a fantastic show. What I'm going to do, I'm going to break down every single game. And then I'm going to reveal to you the 3 bets I made. By the way, I'm 6-1 over the last 3 weeks. And a lot of you who've watched, or if you're watching rebroadcast, remember earlier in the year, I was having some off weeks. I was having some bad weeks. What did I say? Sooner or later, I'm going to get hot. Sooner or later, I'm going to get hot. And also, if you're listening to rebroadcast, or if you're listening live, if there's a game that the line's going to change, like I'm going to show you, and you want me to hit you up, let me know. I thought about putting an email list together. I got some of your numbers. So that's another thing, is that I can put together a list, because you're going to see the game that I put action on. You'll see why here in a little bit. So, all right. Sorry. I apologize. A hangnail there. My apologies. Tim says, do I think the Colts will make noise in the playoffs? That division's still up for grabs. Tennessee losing 3 straight's difficult, but the one thing about the Colts is that defense is really good. That defense is really good. Buckner and Justin Houston, Darius Leonard. The secondary is a little questionable. So I'm kind of curious, like, let's say they're going against somebody like Kansas City, for example. That's a team I think that would give them a lot of fits. Pittsburgh, if they're able to get into the playoffs healthy, especially their receiving core, I think would be able to give them fits. But a team like Baltimore, that's kind of a predictable run-heavy offense, I think would give them a ton of problems. I think that they're a decent team. Tennessee losing 3 straight. I still think Tennessee wins that division. But the Colts are dangerous. And anytime you have a good defense, you're dangerous in the playoffs. But are they as good as Kansas City? I don't think they really stand a chance against a team like Kansas City or Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, because they have more of a passing offense, that's kind of the weakness in the Colts. That front seven solid. If I'm the Ravens, I wouldn't want to play. I wouldn't want to play the Colts. That run defense, that front seven's really good. And it's also going to depend a lot of it's, and I've said this over and over again, I'll keep saying it, it's who's going to be healthy. You know, Buckner or Justin Houston or Darius Leonard goes out. The Colts dramatically decreased. They don't run the ball that well despite having a really good offensive line. I'm the only person who will tell you this. I think Rivers is playing really good. I keep hearing all these bad things about Rivers. Rivers is playing really good. So, you know, it depends on who they play. They're not good enough to get to an AFC Championship game, but I think they're going to go to the playoffs. I wonder who they're going to play, because I don't see them hosting a game. I see them going on the road. But hey, time will tell, brother. Great question. Denver Gator, welcome, brother. He says, good evening. One of the few Chiefs fans I tolerate. How is everybody? Hey, listen, man, I am doing great. And you know what? Let's just start. And I'm going to hold off on revealing my 3 picks. But I do want to get some feedback from you guys. If there's something that's going to dramatically change, do you want me to give you a heads up? Do you want to be put on the email list? Do you want me to get like a text list together? You guys tell me, because I made some really, really good picks, and one of them just dramatically changed. And you'll see. Renisha, you see who's going on. Hey, Renisha, welcome. I was not able to get out the show Wednesday. YouTube died. It was really weird. So, Denver Gator, Colts are a really solid, well-coached team built around luck. Be a different story in the AFC. You know what? I think that there's a chance Luck comes back. I'm the only person who says that. I think there's a chance he comes back. I really do. I think his body heals. He may say, you know what? I could play a couple seasons, make $100 million, which is not real. Seriously. He comes back for a year, signs a 3-year, $75-100 million deal. Is that possible? Sure. Don't rule it out. Don't rule it out. Mike, what is up, brother? Mike, I am actually really glad you joined. I would love to know if you have any college action down, because I made 3 small bets. One you'll see at the end here. One I really wish I would have got out to you guys earlier. So you'll see, but I'm trying to see if I should get like a email list or a text message list, because one of them changed dramatically. But if you have any college picks, let me know, because I still have a little bit extra, because I was thinking about putting some action down tomorrow. Tim says, I went through Denver this summer, got to see Mile High. Actually pretty cool, even though it's Denver. Tim, hopefully you did not get Mile High. But it's definitely, that junk's legal there. And Nate Denver Gator, if you want to, matter of fact, here, I'll just put this below here. Let me know if you want to be on the email list, the text list, and you'll see why here once I go through all the lists here. So I've driven through Colorado, and it's something that I really need to spend some more time there. I've been told the same thing. Colorado is beautiful. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen, get going here. All right. I'm going to exit out of the talent here so you don't get to see my gorgeous face, unfortunately. But I'm going to go through to all the games here. I'm also going to take away my email address. But remember, you can always email me. I put all my social media links below. I'm having an issue with Facebook. I've been getting a lot of weird spam. I've been adding everybody who sends me a Facebook request. I've been getting a lot of weird spam. So if you haven't added me to social media, go ahead. But there may be a possibility in the next couple of weeks I may have to make some shut down or make some changes to Facebook. I'm just getting a ton of spam, a bunch of weird messages, and other YouTube channels I follow have been having similar issues. So, but do follow me on social media. But I just so you know, if you send me a friend request, if it's something that looks a little unusual, bear with me. So it's just been doing some weird stuff. Mike, great question. Mike asked, question, Dan, did my bookie pay out on the presidential election? No, all those bets are up. And this is not a political show. I'm not going to talk politics. I have action on Trump. So I was thinking that they would cancel it because, again, not a political show, but I have action taking Trump, and it's still in limbo. So no, my bookie, all my bets are still are still up in the air. So great question. I don't know if you put any action down. Again, not a political show. I don't care who you vote for, what side of the political spectrum you're on. This is just here to talk football, but yeah, I got action on the election, and all the bets are still in limbo. Tim says, so looking way into the future, what I think of Burrow, I really like him. Think he turns out being a great pro. There's a lot of things I like about Joe Burrow, but one thing that really bothers me about him is that arm strength is below average. That arm, and he plays in Cincinnati, a place where you do have bad weather. And then you're going to have to play in Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Baltimore. Of all the places to have a below average arm, Cincinnati's one of the worst. But I like what they're doing. I think he's got a good head coach in Zach Taylor, even though he hasn't had a lot of success as far as wins and losses. I like the offense. T. Higgins, and I thought was a solid pick. I like that. He has some good pieces in play, and I think that they're building the team around him properly. He needs some help on the offensive line. He really needs some help on the offensive line, but I like what I've seen of him. His lack of arm strength does bother me quite a bit. Out of all the rookie quarterbacks, I like Herbert the best. I think he looks the best. Tua, it'll be interesting to see how Tua plays this week because they have a very interesting matchup. So, but here Tim also says he likes his mentality. Dude hates to lose and is a winner, at least till now. No, Tim, you're 100% correct. I like what I've seen of him, but since his lack of arm strength, how he's going to play in the next couple of weeks is going to be interesting. How's he play in bad weather? Because how's he play in wind? And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But I like what I've seen so far. But he does have some red flags. I think that Burrow's really being overhyped right now, and I kind of want to see some more of him. But I like what I've seen so far, but he does have some red flags, which people are kind of ignoring, and the lack of arm strength is very evident. Denver Gator here says Burrow is great, but he's in Cincinnati, not really a winning culture. I would love to see that change by building around him. I would too. And how they build around him is really going to be key, Denver Gator and Tim. If they can build an offensive line around him, because he's getting killed right now, that needs to change immediately. They do have some weapons. Joe Mixon is fantastic. The defense needs to improve, but they're doing a lot. They're doing all the right things. But out of the rookie quarterbacks, I think I think Herbert's significantly better than Burrow, and I think Tua, if his health was there, would have been my number one quarterback overall. Now, I think Herbert is a better fit in LA, being a West Coast kid and everything. But the one thing I have to say though is I follow a lot of social media. I follow a lot of Bengals social media. And I think that they have unrealistic expectations of Burrow. I think Burrow's been a little overhyped, but I really want to see how he does the last part of the season because I want to see how he does in bad weather because it's very evident that his arm strength is below average for an NFL quarterback. All right, let's break down the games here. Jacksonville is going to Green Bay. The over-under is 49. Green Bay is a 13.5 point favorite. I don't take 13.5 point games, but if you had to say pick one, I would definitely take Green Bay to cover 13.5 if I have to choose. I think the smart play is over 49. And the reason why I think the smart play is over 49 is because I think Green Bay can score at will against Jacksonville, and I don't think Green Bay's defense is all that good. This is definitely the best play in my opinion, but I do think Green Bay will cover 13.5. Out of all the games, I have a hard time thinking that somebody really wants to somebody wants to really put action on that one. You can call me Funk. I'm worried about Burrow's arm strength. And when he came out, I was waiting for the Ryan Leaf moment. I was thinking the same thing. One of the things that really bothered me before he was drafted was, oh man, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. The Ohio State head coach, the Urban Meyer. Okay. Urban Meyer, they talked about him. And they said, well, compare him to Dwayne Haskins because Haskins beat him out. And he was adamant Haskins was hands down a much better passer and the best passer he's ever seen. But he said it was easily Haskins over Burrow. It wasn't even close. And that really bothered me because he was saying this before the draft and they were trying to coax Meyer into pumping up Burrow and he wouldn't do it. I mean, he just wouldn't do it. He said Haskins is easily the better quarterback. And this is the guy who recruited Burrow. So, that was why he had to go to LSU in the first place. That really bothered me. And I was thinking there might be the same thing. He hasn't done that. Everything from the neck up's actually been really great about Burrow. But I've seen him make several throws that make me wonder, how's this guy going to do in Cincinnati is not an easy place to play in December. I mean, the weather there gets bad, and Burrow does not have that rocket arm. That's very evident. Denver Gator says Herbert, Mahomes, Locke could be some of the best football to watch in the next 5 to 8 years. Absolutely. Absolutely. Carr's playing really good football too. I know you don't want to hear that. Derek Carr is playing some really good football too. So if you look at the AFC West next year, Carr's playing at a Pro Bowl level. That gets overlooked because you're in the same division with Patrick Mahomes, who throws 4 touchdowns in a game. People are yawning. So that's going to get overlooked. And Herbert's going to do some good things there. And then Drew Lock. Now, me and Drew Lock went to the same high school, so I'm always going to have a soft spot for Drew Lock, but I really like what I see out of him so far. Green Bay over. I agree with you, Denver Gator. I agree with you. Tim says, I know you probably think it's crazy, but the Chiefs always having a big number. I truly feel like they can cover it 90% of the time. I know it's nuts, but Mahomes just does his thing. Well, early in the season, I was losing on the Chiefs covering the over. The first 2 games of the season specifically, I lost on the over. But last week, definitely. I also think that keep in mind, as I really think that the Chiefs defense is really going to start coming together. Mike says Mike Tomlin, coach of the year. As of right now, yes. As of right now, yes. He took a team that was 8-8. Now they're 8-0. People keep picking against the Steelers. They win close games. There's some holes on that team, but they cover it up. Chase Claypool, the pick, I butchered that pick. I thought that was a terrible pick. I thought the Steelers did a horrible job because they were a team that really needed to add an impact player, so they draft a project, and he looks like he's going to be a superstar. Nobody saw that, and that's partly due to Tomlin. But they've changed a lot of things on this team. Remember, under Todd Haley, they were a passing team. Well, Tomlin wanted to make them more of a tougher team, and it's really paid off. I like the way Pittsburgh's playing. I think as of right now, they're the second best team in the AFC. I still think Kansas City's better, but they're the second best team in the AFC. I do think they'll lose against Baltimore when they play again, and Pittsburgh's schedule is really tough coming up. Really tough coming up, but as of right now, I think that they're the second best team as of right now. Tomlin, coach of the year, that makes a lot of sense. Good point, Mike. Next game is Philly at New York. The over-under is 44.5. The Giants are a 4-point dog at home. I actually like the under. I'm not going to bet this one, but both these teams have pretty good defenses and a lot of question marks on offense. I will probably pass on this game, but I feel very confident in the under here. As far as 4, I don't know. By the way, I'm drawing a blank on his name. It's Patrick. I think Patrick something. I'm very embarrassed. The Giants defensive coordinator has been is on the short list to be an NFL head coach in 2021. So I think it's Tim Patrick. And so my apologies. I didn't take notes on this, but people are talking about the Giants defensive coordinator. Even though they're having a bad year, they're talking about him being an NFL head coach. That's a big story to follow, because if he stays in New York, this could be a very dangerous team in 2021, because I think the offense with Saquon Barkley is going to bounce back. But what about next year? If he leaves, that could be something major. You could look for the Giants defense to really take a nosedive. On a other note, that OBJ trade looks like the Giants won that trade. Julius Pep. I'm sorry, not Julius Peppers. Jabril Peppers. My mistake. Jabril Peppers playing lights out. Remember how hyped he was coming out of college. He went to Cleveland. He was just an afterthought. He's probably going to go to a Pro Bowl this year. Jabril Peppers. He's playing some really good football. You can call me Funk. Says Murray and Jackson can be added to the list of quarterbacks for the next 5 to 8 years. I really like the way Kyler Murray plays, and I like the fact that they're running a college style offense. I kind of wonder if things are going to catch up to them. And Lamar Jackson was public in that teams are calling out the plays, and that's not as uncommon as you may think. But I really think that early in the offseason, Lamar Jackson missed a lot of time in I'm doing air quotes here, even though you can't see me. Training camp, he missed a lot of time. And I remember thinking that could really hurt because the Ravens are really wanting to change their offense. They're really wanting to grow the offense. And he wasn't available. He wasn't available. He wasn't practicing. And I was wondering if that would hurt. And I think it has. But you're 100% correct. The health is an issue for these guys because they take more hits. But the one thing I really like specifically about Kyler Murray is that when he runs, he gets out of bounds and slides. I have not seen him take a lot of hits, but I love the way these two. I'm going to tell you something. I'm an old school guy, but these new school quarterbacks are so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. I have to admit, I didn't think they could get it done. And they proved me wrong. These are a lot of fun to watch. The Funk, man, as usual, you are right. All right, next game. Tampa Bay at Carolina. The over-under is 50.5. Carolina is a 5.5-point dog at home. After Sunday night, Tampa is going to be pissed off. Normally, I don't add emotion into betting logic, but this is an exception. Carolina played a great game in Kansas City. They gave themselves an opportunity to win at Arrowhead. And I really like that they were aggressive and came after Kansas City, but they knew that they had to be overly aggressive. They had to have a fake punt. They had to have a 4th and 14 conversion in order to hang with Kansas City. And they need to have that same mentality against Tampa Bay, and I don't think they will. I think Tampa Bay actually wins this game pretty convincingly, even though I like what I see out of Carolina. Expect a big bounce back from Tampa Bay, but I am probably not going to put action on this one. Next game, Denver at Vegas. The over-under is 50.5. Vegas is a 3.5-point favorite. I actually just like the over in this one. I like the over. I think that both defenses have good pieces in play, but I like both these teams' offenses, and I think this could be an exciting, high-scoring game. I'm going to pass on putting action on this one, but I really like the over. I'm really looking forward as a football fan watching this, and just because the Chiefs are on a bye this week, they play the Raiders in Vegas next week. I'm really hoping Denver beats them up, and that's just me being a Chiefs fan. Pay attention to this game. How does Vegas look? Because taking Kansas City in Vegas may be a bet next week. I'm going to put a lot of money on. Denver Gator says Tampa under. No. I'm not. Okay. Well, let me. Are you asking a question or because you have a question mark there? I like Tampa to cover 5.5. And I'm not betting this game, but I like Tampa. Okay. Broncos over, and I'm calling the Chargers an over. Okay, I haven't gotten to the Chargers yet. Well, I would actually Denver Gator, let me ask you this here. I just want to clarify. Do you like the Broncos to cover? Or you like the over? Do you like over 50.5? Broncos to cover 3.5 would be interesting. I don't know if I would do that. So if you could clarify, do you like the Broncos to cover 3.5 or do you like the over? Just let me know here. Sorry, I literally just got back to the gym, but I am a little stuffed up for some odd reason. So I promise it's not COVID. The next game here, Buffalo at Arizona. Over under is 56.5. Arizona is a 2.5-point favorite. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have no idea. I really don't. I have no idea. I don't even want to take a guess on the over under. Who's gonna win cover. I have no clue. This is just going to be a great game. It's a great game because you had an AFC versus an NFC team. Both teams are playing really good football. Both teams are in kind of unusual positions because Buffalo's been a perennial loser. Arizona's been a perennial loser. Both teams are playing really good. Both teams are in a position for a playoff spot, and the Bills are in position to win that division. So this is going to be a great game. I would love to know what you guys think. I have no clue. I would say from what I've seen, I like Buffalo because I like the team's speed on defense, and Buffalo, Tre'Davious White's going to supposedly play. That's a big win because you put him on Hopkins, and then you just let that front seven, which is fast. Buffalo has all the potential to have a good defense, but this year they haven't. And Tim's right. That game's just going to be a lot of fun. So I didn't pick one. I'd love to know what you guys think. So Denver Gator, do I think Tampa goes over 50? I'm putting action on the Broncos. I like the Broncos to win and over 50. Okay. Yeah, the over under on this game. I'm not really sure about the over, to be perfectly honest with you, because both teams play good defense. I would say maybe the under. I could see this being a 24-17 type game because both these teams really kind of want to play ball control. I know Carolina put up 31 against Kansas City, but they had to. Kansas City's just a different beast. So as far as over 50, I would probably lean towards under, but I don't know. But if you're betting the over, yeah, let me know if you're going to put action on the over. The Broncos to win and over. Okay, so you liked over 50. I agree there. Let me know if you're putting action on the money line, because if you like the Broncos here, I strongly suggest you take the 3.5, not the money line, even though the money line would be a bigger payout. I would strongly suggest you take 3.5. I'm telling you this right now, Denver Gator, I want you to win. If you're going to bet this game, don't take the money line, take the 3.5. You'll thank me because it's going to be a close game. And you're thinking under in Tampa. Yeah, I think so too. If I was going to play that, I would play the under. But I do think Tampa's I think covering 5.5 is pretty solid, which is a big number against Carolina, which has been playing some really good close games. I do like Tampa to win this by over 5.5. If you are going to bet this game and you're going to bet the over under, I would think the under. So, hey, do let me know because I know you follow me on Twitter. I know this. So let me know. Hit me up. Shoot me a message. Let me know what action you're going to put down. And I also have some. I have 3 bets I've already made. 2 which you should take. 1 you shouldn't. And I'll explain why. Sorry, I'm a little stuffed up. I had no idea. All right, let's go to the next slate of games here. The Chargers at Miami. The over-under is 48.5. Miami is a 1.5-point favorite. Okay, I actually originally had the Chargers, but Nick Bosa is going to be out. That's huge. That alone has me swaying towards Miami. Miami has been playing good. I think Herbert's going to outplay Tua, but Bosa being out is huge. So that alone, I would lean towards Miami, but I'm going to leave this one alone. I think it's a fun game, but I'm really looking forward to this. If you are going to bet this game, just remember Bosa is out. That's a major part of the Chargers defense and what the Chargers want to do. Also, they've been falling apart. So this is actually, I think, pretty safe. Miami covering 1.5 at home. Denver Gator says not putting action on the Broncos. I'm still bitter losing to the Falcons. I don't blame you. That was a tough loss. I actually thought they would win that game. I like them to cover 4. Mike puts in Miami as 2 out. Do you know who is out, Mike? And my apologies. I know, here I am. I got a YouTube channel. I talk football. I don't know. And my apologies, because the last couple of weeks I've been severely limited in the amount of research I'm able to do for my show due to restrictions on my 9-to-5 job. But who is out, or is it starters? Let me know. But still, I think Nick Bosa really. Oh, Christian Wilk. Ooh, those are big losses. Those are big losses. That's a big enough loss that I would definitely recommend just watching this game and being a spectator. But if you said, hey, Dan, I still would take the 1.5. Sorry, guys. How's the back? Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Thank you for filling me in, though, Mike. That alone, though, would have me. This is why I do the show. This information here is enough for me to say, let's avoid it. But if you had to pick one, I'd still would take this. I would avoid it because these are big losses. Thanks, Mike. This is gold, by the way, man. This is really gold. Wilkins and Van Noy out. Van Noy's also out? Wow. Hey, listen, this is kind of why I do the show, is because I want to hear from you guys. This is where I get the inside scoop. Because these are big, important parts of the Miami defense. Really big, important parts of the Miami defense. Next game, San Francisco at the Saints. Over under is 49. The Saints are a 10-point favorite. You guys know I got action on the Saints, okay? You guys know I have action on the Saints. But 10 is just too big of a number. And you remember last year the 49ers went down and they played that, what was it, 48-46 or something like that. I remember 49ers fans telling me after that game that Garoppolo can hang with Mahomes because he put 48 on the Saints. And I just, all right. How many of you guys are betting on the game? None. And that's what happened. I don't know. I don't know. I can't touch a 10-point spread. And then over under, is this a game that could be a low scoring game, high scoring game? I would think to myself it's coming off of a high scoring game, but yeah. Mike says 49ers coming off of a bye. I wonder about the health and how good they are. I can't touch this game. I'd love to know, Mike, if you're going to put what you got action down on. I can't touch this game. 10's too big of a number, and I have no idea. But coming off of a bye would be very interesting. Tim, hey, Tim, we can talk college. We talk what you want to talk about. Okay, and I apologize. I didn't realize when I started the show that I was going to be a little stuffy, so my apologies here. I am drinking hot coffee, if that means anything. He has a friend who teaches at Indiana, and them being 3-0, she says it's freaking crazy on campus. I doubt they'll do anything crazy this year. Actually, you're wrong, because Indiana's good. Indiana's good, and they've been building, and they've been recruiting, and that quarterback's a Heisman candidate. That quarterback's officially a Heisman candidate that you haven't heard about. This team is good. I watched them play against Michigan. I thought Michigan was going to beat them. They beat a good Michigan team. You're going to say, Dan, is Michigan really good? They're 1-2. No, they got talent. They got talent. And Indiana, I think they're ranked were they 9th? You'd have to tell me. I haven't been paying that much attention, but I watched them play at the ending of the Penn State game where they won in overtime. One of the best plays I've ever seen in my life. It was awesome. So I think Indiana's for real, man. I think this is one of those weird fluky years where they go 10-1, 11-1. Are they going to play for a national championship? Absolutely not. Were they a top 10 team? Yes. The hype for Indiana is real. Yeah, Mike, I didn't mention that, and I did know about it. I just saw it today. The Golden Boy scored a lot on and off the field. One of the greatest fullbacks. A lot of people didn't realize that he actually played fullback. He was a really great blocker, which is very underrated. Had the record for most points scored in a season for the longest time. Was kind of pissed, and I thought it was cool that he was pissed Tomlinson broke it, because he was also the kicker for the Packers when he set that record. If you don't know your football history, he's one of the greatest players in the history of National Football League. The only Heisman Trophy winner to win the Heisman Trophy whose team had a losing record, and that will stay for a very, very long time. Yes, Paul Hornung, rest in peace. He is scoring tons on and off the field in heaven. So I love getting action from shows like this, hearing from smart fans. Yeah, and you know what? That's the thing here. Mike has a lot of really great input, had some really good bets, was on board with Coastal Carolina early in the season. Very smart. Yeah, he's got some great content. Some of the other guys in here also have some really great content. I have been 6-1 the last 3 weeks. So you took Indiana. And, yes, by the way, Denver Gator hit me up on Twitter, so I can vouch for him. He was right about Florida, and I warned him about it. I was like, don't take Florida. Don't take Florida. What do? He takes Florida, and they win great. They win big. Trask, some people are saying he's a Heisman candidate. I don't know, but that game against Georgia puts him into consideration. Notre Dame this week, I'm thinking about betting on BC and Arkansas. BC, of course, is playing Notre Dame. Arkansas is, I think, 17.5 point favorite against Florida. I may take Arkansas on the points. Tim says Indiana is 10. Paul was also, hands down, every room, Mike, every room, he was the coolest guy. Everybody loved him. Vince Lombardi wanted to be him and used to let him get away with a lot of stuff. But the one thing, here's a guy whose nickname's the Golden Boy. All right, I'm sorry about the sniffling. His nickname's the Golden Boy. Coolest guy in the room. Ferocious blocker. Ferocious blocker. Here's a guy who wins a Heisman Trophy and blocks for Jim Taylor. Sorry, I forgot his name for a second. Blocks for Jim Taylor. A 230. By the way, 230 back then is like 270 today. But blocks for Jim Taylor. Jim Taylor scored the touchdowns. Jim Taylor had I forget what season it was, but he had a 19 touchdown season in a 14-game season. So 19 touchdowns in 14 games. A lot of that was due to Paul Hornung blocking. Here's a guy who was always hanging out and dating celebrities, models, has a Heisman Trophy, nicknamed the Golden Boy, and blocks like a beast. Love Paul Hornung. And it's sad day. Sad day. Thank you for bringing that up, man. This is a game I kind of want to talk about because I might put some action on this one. Baltimore at New England, over under is 43.5. New England is a 7.5 point dog at home. I might take New England on this one. And I know what you're going to say, Dan. They barely beat the Jets. He barely beat the Jets. I know. That's why I'd love to know your opinion, but 7.5 against a basic offense. I think the Jets caught him off guard. We're going to see about my first 3 bets, but I think if I go 3-0, I might push my luck here and take New England in a touchdown. No, Mike, you're 100% correct. Him and Alex Karros got kicked out of the NFL for a year. The year suspension kept Karros out of the Hall of Fame, even though he deserves to be in. And that's another thing is that I'm going to do a retro episode, and I'm going to do an episode of players who should be in the Hall of Fame. Alex Karras, I think he's still out of the Hall of Fame. Should be. Yeah, he missed. I want to say 60. Was it 65 or no? I think it's 64. I'd have to Google it, but yeah, the NFL he got caught betting on football. They suspended him for a year. Let's be very clear. Paul Hornung was not perfect, but man, was he a fun player to watch. Great player to watch, great guy, and the world is a little less cooler. The world is a little less cooler. Men like Paul Hornung don't exist anymore. They've been replaced by soy boys. And anyway, I'm going to get off. I'm going to get on a rant here, so I'm going to stop. But yeah, you're right. You're 100% correct, Mike. And that's really cool because I love the old school. And I'm going to do a retro episode too. We just talk old school football. I'm just not sure like how – I'm thinking like 50s to 1999, include the very first season of The Greatest Show on Turf. I was kind of like thought process. Probably do it after the first of the year. All right, sorry about sniffling. I didn't realize it until I started talking. But Baltimore, if you don't know, ESPN had an article where Lamar Jackson was getting frustrated because defenses are calling out the plays, and the reason why is that Ronnie Stanley, the left tackle, he signed a big contract and got injured. It's severely limiting the offense. Plus the injuries Lamar Jackson had in the offseason. But yeah, Denver Gator, I'm just going to post what you're saying because, yeah, Denver Gator, I may hate the Pats, but don't dismiss Belichick game planning against the Ravens. May not have the talent, but he'll find a way to maybe lose but cover 7.5. You're right. Here's the thing about Baltimore. The offense is extremely basic. This isn't a confusing offense. If you watched on Monday night, Joe Flacco looked pretty damn good. I think they caught the Patriots off guard. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Bill Belichick will be ready. And even though the defense is good for Baltimore, they have a weakness about stopping the run. I'm not saying New England's going to win, but 7.5 at home for a primetime game is a big number. Very big number. So, yeah, I want to see how my other 3 bets pan out. Minnesota at Chicago. The over-under is 43. Chicago is a 3-point dog, and I was really surprised that Chicago's a dog at home, even though Dalvin Cook is playing some lights-out football. Dalvin Cook is now officially in the MVP candidate race. He will not win because he's not going to have a third straight 200-yard game. He's not consistently going to get 200 yards. It's not possible. But if he does have a really good game against the Bears, you have to hear more about it. I think Minnesota's defense is starting to play better. And if the offense is good, this is a extremely dangerous team. The Bears have a good defense. David Montgomery, I don't think is playing. That's huge. I was thinking over, but both these defenses are playing good. 43 is too small to bet under, especially when you have playmakers. So that's why I got the question marks. I would love to know what you guys think. I don't see how you bet this game. I don't see how you bet anything on this game. But I'd love to hear what you guys have. This, for me, is just going to be a fun game to watch. And the winner, I think, is going to be very dangerous. How crazy would that be if the Vikings start off 1-5 and get to the playoffs? Would you want to play the Vikings in the playoffs? That's something to think about. That's something to think about. There is no action on this game. but I went to www.Vegas Insider. It has access to all the casinos in Las Vegas. It opened up at 45.5. Detroit was a 4-point favorite. If there is a line on this game, I want to find out who's starting quarterbacks. It's going to be Alex Smith for the Redskins. I think the reason why the game's off is, and I'd love to hear from my Lions fans, is that it's unknown who's going to start at quarterback. I'll be honest, I like Washington in this game. I think with Alex Smith coming as the quarterback, I think the Redskins could be dangerous. And I wouldn't say that if they're in any other division except the NFC East. So, and this is also a good point. Bill Lazor is taking over the play calling duties. And I think that he's going to try to simplify the offense. Which I think is huge. But does this mean that you want to go ahead and take the over? That'd be an interesting thing, Mike. I mean, but I'm just going to watch. But it is important to note, because if the Bears' offense looks better even without David Montgomery, that's scary, because the defense is as good as any defense in the league. Minnesota, can that young defense get together? Can Dalvin Cook keep playing at a freaky level? He can't. You can't have 200 all-purpose yards every game. You just can't. He won't this week. But does he have a good game? Denver Gators, Stafford plays Lions over, if not Washington in the under. I can see that. I'll tell you the truth. If Stafford doesn't play, I would love to take Washington in 4. I might take Washington 4 anyway, but there is no action on it. The game is 100% off. 100% off. So that's why I put no action there. This was just, I went to Vegas Insider. This is what it opened at. And I'll be following this game, because if there is action, I might put a little bit down. But let's get to the good stuff here. Are you ready for the good stuff? These are the 2 games, 3 bets. This is what I was talking about right here. Houston versus Cleveland. Cleveland is a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under is 46. So underneath here, you'll see the under 54 and Monday. Because I put action on this game, I took under 54 on Monday. Dan, why did you take under 54 on Monday? Well, there's a couple reasons. I like the fact Nick Chubb's going to come back. I think Cleveland's going to try to control the clock. Houston wants to pass the ball. And you got Myles Garrett, who is maybe the most dangerous pass rusher in football against a banged up, beat up offensive line. All those factors. But what have I been telling you? It's not rain, and it is going to rain. Looks like it was 60% chance. Now it looks like it's a lot higher. Wind. Over 20-mile-an-hour winds. I knew this was going to happen. I only bet 25 on this game. And I did it Monday. Okay. 20-plus mile-an-hour winds plus rain equals a low-scoring game. Do I recommend under 46? Remember, they played the Raiders. Kind of a similar team, Raiders and Texans, kind of, sort of. 16-6. Yeah, but I got it Monday. That's why I want you. That's why I was asking. Denver Gator, I got you on Twitter. I'll hit you up next time I see something like this. But yeah, I got 54. And I was going to reveal this. It was 51 on Wednesday, and that's where I was going to tell you, hey, get 51 because it's going to drop. It's going to keep dropping. And hey, you want to risk 46? That's a small, but exactly. That Cleveland did play in a similar game. They only scored 6 against the Raiders. But that difference is the Raiders were able to stop the run. I don't think the Texans will. But I actually thought that this would be a good game even without the bad weather. It would be a good game to take the under anyway because I see Cleveland running the ball, playing ball control, and I see Houston trying to throw the ball with Myles Garrett. It's kind of funny because I think both teams really want to try to control the clock in this game. So I thought under 54 would be good anyway. But when I saw 20-mile-an-hour wind and 60% chance of rain, that percentage has gone up. So it's going to be rainy and windy. And I got 54. So I feel great about this game. I should just bet more. If you want to go, if you want to go with Cleveland 3.5, I don't know about that. So James, welcome, brother. Welcome, man. Actually, you know what? I'll back up here just a little bit. What do you know about this? Because there's no action on the game. Do you know who's starting quarterback? Because we don't. So he wants Washington to win. I think that I actually like Washington because I like Alex Smith. I don't know what's going on, but there's no action on the Lions game. The game's been taken down from all the sports books. And I think it's because of the questionable quarterback situation. So I was hoping you could tell me who's starting for the Lions at quarterback. Mike has a good point. Go for 46. No, I'm going to sit on my under 54 and collect. I feel really good about that. I should just put more down. And for those of you who want me to give you updates, let me know how to contact you. I got some of your numbers. Denver Gator, I got you on Twitter. We've messaged each other back and forth. So next time I see something like this, I'll let you know ahead of time. And sometimes I make videos. I was planning on just releasing this information Wednesday, and at 51, that was still a good bet. James reveals Chase Daniel at this point. And you know what? If Chase Daniel versus Alex Smith explains why the line's off. If the line does come on, I'll probably take Washington. They're a 4-point dog. It opened as 4. I don't know what it is. Detroit 4-point favorite at home. And I apologize. I got a little bit of sniffles. Okay, so the next game I put 2 bets down on. The over-under is 54.5. I got 55. I actually thought it would go up. It's gone down. So I do recommend taking the over on this game. Why do I recommend taking over? Let me just break this down for you. Let's take a look at the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to read you the Seattle Seahawks, what Seattle Seahawks have done on offense this year. 38, 35, 38, 31. A bad game here on offense, 27. That was, by the way, in the rain in Seattle in a win. 34, 37, and 34. Only once this season have they scored under 30, and they scored 27. They are averaging 34.3 points a game. They are giving up 30.4 points a game. That is 64.7 total. The Rams have a better defense, yes. Are they going to hold Seattle to 10 points? No. No, they are not. They are not. I'm telling you this right now. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. By the way, when these guys played last year, one was a low-scoring game, one was a high-scoring game. I feel very confident in the over. I got half a unit. I got 2 quarter units bet on the over-unders, and I should have put more on the Cleveland here. But I'm thinking about putting some action out on college, and I'm also going to look and see if there's another NFL game. But these are my 3 bets right now. I have over 55.5. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Seattle, I got Seattle 1.5. Bottom line, I think Seattle's a better team than the Rams. I don't think that there's a home field advantage in this game. There are not going to be fans in the stands. I don't know how. I actually thought that Seattle might be favored. I thought this might change. It hasn't. So these are my 3 bets. I got a half betting unit here. I got a quarter here and a quarter here. And I made all these bets on Monday. And so what I was going to do is reveal this on Wednesday, give you a chance to put some action down. But you like the Rams. Okay. I disagree, obviously. But the over is, I think, very solid. And since it's gone down 54.5 between these two teams, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can disagree about who's going to win, but I think the over is very safe. I might actually put another 25 down on the over. I'll have to wait and see. But these are my 3 bets. I've been 6-1, and so we'll see how I do. Hunter Bryant from FAU, he was really good, and he's looked really good for Cleveland. I thought he looked really, really good. He's a guy who just fell. Free fall through the draft. I thought he was going to be a second or third round pick. Cleveland had a really good draft. Now keep in mind the safety whose name I'm forgetting out of LSU, Grant Delpit. He's injured and he's out for the whole year, but he's still a damn good player. I think he's going to end up really doing a lot of good things in the future, but he's out for this year. So you're going to say, hey, look, he didn't play, but when he gets healthy, he's going to be inserted into that secondary and really be a big boost. And Hunter Bryant's, he's going to replace Njoku, who's going to be gone. That's kind of an interesting thing. All the talent in the world just hasn't been able to put together. Can't catch. It's hard to be a receiving tight end and not have good hands. So. Anyway, that is my breakdown for every single game. I have been 6-1 the last 3 weeks, and I got 3 bets going this week. The reason why I went 50, 25, and 25 is what Mike pointed out earlier. I have a lot of action on the election. Hasn't been paid out yet. Not a political show. I want to emphasize that. I do not want to talk politics, but because I did have quite a bit on the election, my funds are limited. Matter of fact, if I lost last week's bet, I would be down to 0. And so right now I have right now I have a $90 balance, but the 300, I have a good chance after this week to be right around even. So no Hunter Bryant from University of Washington, Lions tight end. Ooh, I'm going to tell you something. I didn't know you guys got Hunter Bryant, but I loved this kid coming out of Washington. I loved him, and I actually thought there was a chance he could have gone in the first round. I thought there was a chance he could have gone in the first round. Let me clarify this here because Hunter Bryant is the tight end from Florida Atlantic, and let me find out here because I know who you're talking about, and hold on, I'm going to find out who he is real fast. He wore number 1 last year for the University of Washington, and I'm going to find out. I'm going to look it up real quick here. All right. I'm drawing a blank on who he is. All right. All right. All right, hold on. I'm sorry. But let me get. I'm bringing up the list right now. Wow, this is not a good list. Okay, Hunter Bryant is the University of Washington tight end, and the FAU is Harrison Bryant. Okay, Harrison Bryant's the FAU, and Hunter Bryant is the Washington. And the Washington tight end, I really liked a lot. I watched him play, and I wanted to see what he would do in the draft because he was Washington's number one receiver, even though he was a tight end. The FAU, Harrison Bryant won the John Mackey Trophy as the best tight end, and he was really, really good, but I didn't watch a lot of FAU. I did watch Hunter Bryant out of the University of Washington, and I thought with a great combine, he could have gone in the first round because he had like a third, fourth round grade. Really did not have a good combine. Came in small, which some people were expecting, but I thought he could run in a 4.4. He ran like a 4.7, which is really disappointing because he can't block. He's basically a big wide receiver, but in the NFL, being 6'2", 230 is not really big. Where in college, you can do that because it's about height. And that's kind of why he wasn't really used. So I loved watching him at the University of Washington, and I didn't know that. I knew he went undrafted. I didn't know he went to Detroit. If you're creative, you can really use this guy in a lot of ways. He can't block. All right, sorry. He can't block. Excellent receiver, really good run after the catch ability. Wasn't drafted because he ran like a 4.75, and I was thinking if he ran in a 4.4 because he looked like he was a 4.4, 4.5 guy. But then he goes to the combine, has a bad combine. So Harrison Bryant, on the other hand, athletic, showed the athleticism. Probably should have gone in late second, early third, but this is a very wide receiver heavy draft. This is a guy also not known for blocking, really athletic. A small school player, FAU. Some teams, so I thought going to Cleveland was actually a good move, even though they have a lot of tight ends there. But I thought it was a good move, and he looks like he's the best one, even though they gave, I think it was like a $50 million to the guy from Atlanta, Austin Hooper. So yeah. Tim says, Dan, do you know where Richmond, Missouri is? About 30 minutes east of Kansas City. Yes, I do. They got a QB 6'3", about 235. Heard he runs up. I know you heard this. I've not heard of him. Any high school numbers that you get are false. The kid's probably 6'2", 210, and runs a 4.8. But no, I haven't heard that, but I never believe high school numbers. But no, I have not heard this, and I'm always interested. It's something I'll keep tabs of. I knew about Drew Lock when he was a junior at Lee Summit High School, and I was following him. He was it's kind of funny because his senior year they went 4-6, but he was still player of the year. It's really rare to be player of the year as a quarterback when your team has a losing record, but he was that good. So yeah. Denver Gator says, off topic, hit a few big ones last week, so I treated myself to a new 7.0-inch TV being delivered in the morning. My sports and gaming. Hey, listen, man, this is exactly what we want to hear. When you make smart investments, you collect and you're able to buy yourself toys, and that's what you should do. I don't want to hear people. Matter of fact, I'm glad you brought this up because I'm probably going to unjoin. There's a sports handicappers Facebook group, and I was like, well, let me check this out. Oh God, do not join this group. First of all, they're actually betting each other, and then one guy want a bet from another guy, and the other guy claims that he didn't make the bet. So they're both having a little feud with the snapshots. And why the hell are you making bets with people you don't even know? How stupid are you? So one guy apparently does this, and then when he loses, he just says, well, I didn't make that bet. Why the hell are you betting people? So don't do that. Please don't do that. Use reputable sports books. And then some of the advice I'm seeing was idiotic. One guy, I'm going to get worked up here. For you experts on football or anybody that's football betting, you're going to know how stupid this is. This guy bet Pittsburgh against Dallas, but he bought 1.5 points to go from 14 to 12.5. And he was bragging about what a smart play this is. Of course, you know that didn't pan out. You almost never want to buy points. But why the hell would you go from 14 to 12.5? So, yeah, don't join this group. But there's some dummies out there. So, bet smart, collect, and buy new big screen TVs. Thank you for posting this. Yeah, Murray was like 5'11". Johnny Manziel was 6'2". But high school numbers are the worst. There was a running back out of Blue Springs, which is really close to where I live. Liddell Betts ended up playing for several years for the Washington Redskins. Started as a true freshman at Iowa. He was listed by the Kansas City Star as 6'1", 235, who runs a 4.3. At the NFL Combine, he was 5'11", 220, and ran a 4.58. I think 215. Had a decent career, but is he 6 foot, 235, running a 4.3? No, because 4 years later, he was 5'11", 215, and ran a 4.58. So never, ever, ever believe high school statistics. You can call me Funk, says I'm back. I missed the Lions. No worry. Well, hey, listen. Here's the deal with as far as point spreads are concerned. The game is completely off the book. No sports books are carrying it. I cannot bet on it. I am paying attention because I actually like the Redskins. According to Vegas Insider, sportsbetting.com has the game available. Detroit's a 3.5 point favorite. Shrinkage is oh God, that was cool. I wish I could take credit for that. You guys say stuff I wish I could take credit for, but yeah, the Denver Gator. This is just freaking gold. Oh man, this is a great show. I think you know what? I'm just gonna wrap it up here. I apologize. I didn't realize I was stuffy. I feel great. I went to the gym. I had a good workout. And then, halfway in the show, it's like, I'm having problems talking. I'm stuffed up. I got hot coffee here. I'm jacked up. It's just I'm having a hard time talking. So my apologies. I don't know. Maybe I need to get like the meat, a humidifier or something like that going. Shrinkage is real. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something, James. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. You're going to get a new head coach. You're going to get a new GM. And it's unfortunate because the more and more I talk to you Lions fans, the more and more I love Detroit. And the more and more you guys deserve a winner. You really do. This is from somebody who lives in Kansas. But, yeah, the Lions fans have been great. And, yeah, you guys deserve better. Really do. Especially Stafford. I'm a huge Stafford fan. There's a lot of good things in place there. So, yeah, you got it. I get it, but yeah, it's time to move on. It's going to happen next year, and hopefully they get the right pieces in play. And we're going to talk about all of this. This I didn't know. James says there's a rumor going around Patricia loses Sunday, he gets fired Monday. I would argue that, but I mean that would put the Lions at 3-6. I mean, not really mathematically out, but pretty much out. We'll have to wait and see, man. Hey, listen, man. Thanks everybody for joining the show. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm a little stuffed up. It's a little difficult to talk, but listen, you know my bets. Don't forget, you can always email me at thedanshow@yahoo.com. All my social media information is linked in the description below. If you sent me a Facebook friend request and I denied it, just send it again. Send me a message saying that, hey, I'm a follower of the show. I've been getting some weird spam with Facebook. So if you sent me a friend request, I might have deleted it. I've been getting some weird stuff. But anyway, that is all I have for this week. Go Washington from Alliance. You guys are gold. Thanks for joining my show. Keep in mind, if you need any information, you need any help, you can always email me, thedanshow@yahoo.com. And unless YouTube crashes again, I will be back Wednesday, hopefully 9-1. So have a great weekend, and I will see you Wednesday.